Hello, your technology tutor Chet Davis here with a tech quick tip. I want to show you how you can create your own graphics to be used. Well, it could be used as a greeting card. It could be used something to send out in an email. And as I'm going to show you, I'm going to post it on my Facebook page. So I invite you to drop by my Facebook page, by the way. It's facebook.com/Chet Davis. Now, to do what I'm doing today, I'm using Apple Pages, which you may know is software available to Macintosh computers. It's part of the iWork Assemble. You can also buy it as a separate piece from the App Store. But I'm going to go ahead, and this is not going to be a thorough tutorial on the whole software. That's something coming. I'm going to have an online class available for both Apple Pages software and Apple Keynote software, and you'll find those details on my website at yourtechnologytutor.com. So I've opened the Pages software, and you see I'm clicking a blank document. We're going to go ahead and choose a blank document, and it's going to open up a blank document. Very clever. Now, to do this, what you need to do is have a photo that you really like. And I've got a photo on my desktop, and it's a photo I captured in our front yard of calla lilies blooming this spring. And I captured it with my iPhone. So as long as it's a good quality photo, well lit, it could be a photo you find online as well. But especially if you're going to use this commercially for your business on a website, you want to be aware of copyright law. And so that's why it's ideal to select your own photo. So I'm going to go over here and click on the Insert top menu. And come down on the bottom, and you see we have Choose. That allows me to choose any photo I want. And I've placed that photo on my desktop. And I'll go ahead and there it is, calla lilies. See that? So we left-click on the Insert button, or click on the Insert button, and you see it inserts that photo. Now, when you see these little buttons or indicators on the edge of your image, that tells you the image is selected. So you could go ahead and resize it, but I'm going to take it at the largest size it can go right now, which is 468 by 351 points. That's ideal because I'm going to size it. The most I tend to do on Facebook is like 450 pixels wide. So that's actually perfect. Then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to place some text on top of that. So this is for Easter Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and click Insert in the top menu, and I want to put a text field on top of that. I want to put a greeting that says Happy Easter. So we come down here to Text Box, and we release thereby selecting Text Box. This is confusing to lots of folks when you first insert text in Pages and Keynote, because it's considered its own image and it moves everything else around. So what we need to do in this text box is say, I don't want the text box to move everything around. I want it to go on top of, and we need to make it movable. So here's how we do that. Come up to the left and select View. Now there's another way to do this that I'll be showing in my tutorial. You can have your toolbar open, but if you don't, you go to View and Show Inspector. Now the inspector, when you're working in Apple Pages and Keynote, the inspector is your best friend, your BFF, okay? So what we want to do is, in this tool, the third tool over, select Floating. Okay, it doesn't move with text, and then deselect this, Object Causes the Wrap. See, and that lets us click on it and move it around on top of our graphic. So right now it's black text. So let's change that, and the way we change that is come up here. And well, let's select a color. And what I love to do is pick the color right out of the image. So I'm going to click here in this color well, this ink well, and you see it opens up the color menu. I can select the magnifying glass, and I can pick out the orange or the yellowish right from the flower itself. See that? And now the text is that same color. And then we can enlarge that. Let's go up to a 36-point font and type in what we want to say, Happy Easter, and hit the carriage return. Okay, very nice. In fact, I think I'm going to make that even larger. Let's try a 48-point font. Now, you can see it doesn't show the whole thing, so we're going to click this down here, and it brings that out. And we could center justify that if we wanted to by clicking this menu over here in terms of the alignment. That looking pretty good. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to add a drop shadow. There's a couple different ways to do that, but we can go ahead and select, and you can see the drop shadow. Now, that's a black drop shadow, and it's a black background, so it's not going to stick out. If I want the drop shadow to stick out even more, I'd click in this shadow, which brings me to the color requester, and then bring up a lighter color. Okay, see how it kind of glows around there? Very nice. So that's how you create an image using Apple Pages. Now, people do this in all kinds of other graphics applications like Adobe Photoshop, etc. But I wanted to show you this because you can create some very cool, nice images even in a word processing program like Apple Pages. Now, I do need to put out a disclaimer. This is not going to get you the same kind of vector quality graphics, vector scalable graphics, high quality PNG TIFF files that you'll get in those other graphics programs, but it's more than suitable to send email greetings, even to print it out in like a 4x6 card, and certainly to post it on Facebook. So what I'm going to do to grab or capture this as an image, because right now it's a desktop publishing application. It's in Pages. It's a page I can print, but I want to grab the photo. I could use the Grab software, which you have in your utility folder in Mac, but I choose to use Preview. So I open up the Preview, which is a free application everybody has on their Mac computer, and come over here under File and select Take Screenshot from Selection. Then I just arrange my little crosshairs here in the top left, scroll it down to the bottom right corner, and release, and you can see we have captured our Happy Easter greeting. Then we save this to the desktop, so I save as Happy Easter. And you can save it as a PNG file, Portable Networks graphic file, or if your system requires it, you could save it as a JPEG. Now I'm going to go ahead and save it as a PNG file and save it down to the desktop, and there you have it. Okay, so that's a great way you can make your own holiday greetings for cards, for emails, for Facebook, for websites, whatever. More tutorials like this can be found on my website at yourtechnologytutor.com. If you're viewing this video on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe so you can be updated whenever I put up my new tutorials. And if you're on my website, yourtechnologytutor.com, remember to subscribe to my newsletter so you'll get monthly updates on the great tutorials and lessons that I provide for you. Thanks for joining me today.